Hello everybody, welcome to Level Up TV. With me, Disrepute, wait, let me point, and... no,
Not me.
it's that way!
I'm getting massive latency,
It's that
I
way.
can't...
It's zoot.
Hey, hello.
Massive latency.
Wait, so which way do I point to do that? Do I point that way, or...?
That way, yeah.
Oh, okay, I've got it
Go
now.
on, you can practice. See. Got my QuakeCon t-shirt on, 2012. Let's have a look at the back, shall we? What does it say on the back?
You've even got the little shirt to go behind it to look extra skatery.
Yeah.
Oh my god, QuakeCon 2012, I see it myself.
I know. Zoot's jealous because he hasn't got his on.
No, I've lost mine in a sort of wormhole of mess that is this room I'm borrowing, should we say.
See, I've started on this page, as we see, the big QuakeCon logo. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it spin.
You couldn't make it spin, that's dire. It's kind of distracting though, because what I see at the moment is the QuakeCon 2012 registration with the logo next to it.
This is the quickest thing I could find with the big logo on, just to fill the screen.
It's a small logo. Can you get another one on the right?
No, sorry.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, so this is our kind of review show about our experiences going to QuakeCon as, well, not as Level Up TV really, but as Disrepute and Zoot.
That's right.
Well, yeah, just everything that happened. We'll answer some of your questions if you've got any about the event. You know, obviously some people were not too plussed with some of the coverage.
Not too many.
We'll try and
just a
answer them if
couple.
we
There's just
can.
one or two people, right?
Just a couple of people. But also we'll talk about the games a little bit that we can remember. I can't remember any, but
I can remember a few.
good.
I remember some.
That's
some
why
good
Zoot's
ones.
here. He's got the
Yes.
memory of an elephant.
Civ. Yeah, elephant's good.
An elephant sieve. So let's.
Do you have any stories? Do you have like stories? We start
We've
with
got lots of
how are we doing
stories.
this?
A million stories. Well, we'll just start off. We'll start off day by day. We'll recount each step of our journey.
Sure.
The problem
Step
is, I
one.
do have a tendency to just talk too much, and this will
Yeah.
go on for hours.
Yeah.
So everybody keep.
Just to bear in mind, I do not have hours on this occasion. I probably need to be free around the 8:30 BST mark.
Keep check. We're going to finish by 8 at the latest.
Oh really? Okay.
Simple as. So we'll,
Wait, that's 9 for you Europeans.
Yeah, sorry. So
We
we've
better
got
get
1
started
hour.
though. We've only got an
Better
hour.
get going. Right, so what I'm going to do first is just go through some of our photos step by step, recounting the story. But actually, before we go, remember everybody, like us on our Facebook page /LevelUpTV. Look at that beautiful photo I've put up.
It's pretty good, isn't
It
it?
is a pretty professional
Pity you're
photo.
cutting out my face.
Well,
but
it was the best one I could get from the QuakeCon stream.
no, I like it.
Subscribe to our YouTube. This video will go up afterwards on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter /LevelUpTV for all of those. So let's get going on the old photos and start off with this photo.
Okay, I've got to wait because the stream's going to be like 5 seconds behind. What's that photo? Where were we on that one?
We're at Heathrow. It's day 1.
Was that when we were looking for
Day 0.
plugging in
Day
internet and
minus
stuff?
2, actually. Yeah, this is
Huh?
Zoot. As somebody pointed out later on, the fact is he's always looking down at a screen. And
It just so happens
This-
that every time a photo has been taken from you, I was looking at either my iPod or my laptop.
yes.
It happened 3 times.
Just so happened he never even looked me in the eyes the whole week.
Ever.
Yeah.
You're like a Medusa. I couldn't look at you in the eyes.
Dangerous.
Danger zone.
So, yeah, basically we were there for a week. We flew out on, what, the Monday, was it? The
Yeah, I
Monday.
think so.
Came back on the Sunday. So we were there a few days before, try and get used to the
Came
jet
back
lag.
on the Monday.
Okay, technically we arrived back home on the Monday, but we left on a Sunday. We lost a
Yeah.
day, or ish. I don't know.
Pretty much.
Any evening. Yeah, so we're at the Heathrow Airport here. Look, Zoot is enjoying himself. Look, he's shaking his head back and forwards here with excitement. Pity we haven't got your photos on here, because one of them showed that in a few minutes' time, I was about to be searched.
Yeah. Little did Disrepute know.
Yeah.
He was just going to get victimized in front of my face, and
No help from
then I'd
Zoot.
proceed to sort of do secret CCTV footage.
I mean, if you ask anybody who looks the more dodgy, I'd say it's Zoot, personally.
Well, I was wearing the hoodie and everything.
I was wearing
you
a
were-
shirt. I was
Yeah,
very
you-
nice and smart, and I still get
Exactly.
searched. What's going on there? Anyway, we'll get onto the plane then, straight away. So on the plane, look at this legroom I had.
Yeah, I was so jealous. I could not believe that you were gifted this when I got on the plane. I turned around and I was literally so jealous I wanted to punch a small pedestrian. It was horrible.
You wanted to punch a small person?
pedestrian, but same.
But of course you were sitting next to one.
Mm.
You didn't punch him, did you?
No. Well, he was very small, so I couldn't, without feeling bad.
So yeah, I was pretty chuffed with my legroom here. I stretched my legs out straight away, showed Zoot, he was pretty jealous. Empty seats at this point. Little did I know, next to me would be sat a small boy who would spill his water all over me. And I'd have a screaming baby next to me and a couple of kids constantly running in front of me, making me move my legs constantly for 10 hours.
Do you know, this made me feel a lot better about life in general. I felt far more comfortable with the balance in the universe.
I did not.
And I was happy to get to QuakeCon with you after that.
I was not happy at all. Anyway, let's go through. So yeah, I messaged this on Facebook, anybody that saw. Basically, this was the point. I ran out of things to do. I was so bored at this point. So I was just over what? Detroit is that? I don't know. Just
Detroit.
Lower than Toronto. Above Washington DC, somewhere in America. I don't know. I'm not good with geography of America.
I took a great picture on the way back. We were just getting into London, and they kept going round in circles and stuff because we were, obviously waiting for air traffic to go down. And I thought it was quite.
It's
quite
beautiful.
Pleasant.
It was good, beautiful. Any questions? You keeping an eye on the questions?
I'll try to.
Yeah, you do that. Me on the flight, yeah, obviously looking cool, pretty fun. That's the photo afterwards because I was so bored. I took a photo of myself sticking out my tongue. Finally, we arrived.
On the plane trip, we should also the videos that were made, especially when I was bored. I think I constructed something. So there's also the YouTube Level Up TV account, which is various videos of bits of our journey and
go and check on
the early
YouTube.
Stages.
It is is a good source of information. In fact, if I go to the website, then we can check out the videos quickly, and we can see that we have a couple of videos up here. Zoot, a lot of it's Zoot's camera skills, and they're not too good. This is
no, that's not what I was hired for.
Okay, this is a good little video from Zoot. I'm going to mute this actually. Zoot on the plane, doing a little messages. This is pretty good. Don't spoil it. No, let's get.
If they want to see more of the video, then you have to
go to the YouTube, and you have to subscribe. Unfortunately,
that's a condition.
There's actually a couple more I need to upload still. I need to watch them though to make sure they're fine. We'll call it first. Anyway, we got to the airport. Went through security fine, didn't we, Zoot?
Yeah, sort of.
You did get told that they need to search your bag.
Yeah, they told go over there and get searched. There was no over there, so I proceeded to not get searched. But I felt I felt a bit rebellious, as if I was meant to be, have everything in my suitcase and backpack searched. And then we managed to find the exit after some difficulties.
We almost went on to an international transfer.
Yeah.
Or internal transfer, I guess. Then we got a nice car back, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw the guy with his iPad laughing at the names on there shortly before realizing they were our names.
Our surnames.
And then that was the moment where he led us to the car park, which meant we had to go outside of the airport. And,
how would we describe the heat of Texas for anybody that's not been there?
Oh, it's I don't know. My vocabulary doesn't stretch far enough to really graphically put it.
Suffocating.
Yes, it's really the most intense heat I've experienced.
Yeah, it's the humidity as well. It's just really not pleasant, I would say, even in the evening when we got there. I mean, us Brits, we're used to very cold temperature, damp, boring.
We're used to tepid, sort of, little rain.
Grey skies. That's what we were missing. I was homesick for grey skies. I was really quite
I love the novelty, but I didn't like the fact that actually it is more or less physically impossible as a nerd to walk for longer than half a kilometre in this heat.
I like the term geek, personally.
Geek, sure.
Yeah. You could be a nerd. I'm not.
I'll stretch that far.
Anyway, we got to the hotel, and this is kind of the lobby. Obviously, Zoot straight away on his phone, looking down at the screen. Pretty addicted to that kind of thing.
Blah, 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 blah.
Massive hotel. I think somebody said it's the biggest.
That was our room, wasn't it?
Yeah, our room. Yeah. The biggest Asian art collection in America, apparently. It also had a chunk of the Berlin Wall and this crazy sculpture.
What was the crazy? Oh yeah, the thing in the sky.
Yeah, the thing that floats in the sky is like some sort of jello moving type thing.
Yeah, I saw there's a video. I think it was the QuakeCon 2011 hype video. Actually, has quite an interesting clip of it moving.
Good. So go check that out. But
Oh.
it's pretty nice. This is like
It's
a
quite
second lobby
magical.
area with restaurants in this bit. Then we sat down, went on the internet, didn't we, Zoo? And you went and chatted with a load of people on Facebook.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, this is about the last footage there is of me being on front of a monitor that isn't casting related.
I love your face there. Look how happy you are.
I was like, the internet, so
We got the
glorious.
internet. Didn't have internet in our room. Had to come down to the lobby every time. Anyway, let's
It's
go
so
through.
expensive.
So this is the view in the, I guess, the morning of our view out of our hotel room. Yeah, very nice across
Mhm.
that's the sort of garden area behind the hotel with the swimming pool in and
Yeah,
etc.
yeah, it's got all the little pond thing. There's that plastic sheet on the ground which people did actually use as a slip and slide.
Oh, they did. You saw that.
I didn't see it, but some people I was hanging around with did.
And then we went and had a little breakfast at Denny's. We did a little video there. Go and check that out on the
Yeah.
YouTube. You enjoyed your breakfast, didn't you?
You know what? American food, I was expecting it to be a lot bigger than it was.
Oh,
Just
disappointed
simply,
too.
and it just simply wasn't as big as I had heard stories of it being.
Let's skip through this a little bit faster. There is the hotel. In fact, we got Zoot right in front of it,
Well,
looking
I'm
pretty
waiting for the photo.
badass.
I can't even see it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Hilton
Nice.
Anatole in the car park here. Zoot's almost as tall as the hotel, funnily enough. Yeah.
There's some people on Facebook saying my complexion not necessarily matching the weather.
Yeah, and it still doesn't.
No,
'Cause we
never
spent
will.
so much time in the hotel. Then we thought we'd get in early and get some photos of the whole setup, but unfortunately, we went into the setup of the previous event.
Yeah,
So
we
these,
didn't
these
realize.
photos of like the Chantilly ballroom, but
Which I imagine, it looked amazing. I'm sure their event was great.
there's Zoot
Just throw it in there. Where's me?
pulling his eyes away from the screen for a couple of seconds.
Oh,
There's not
okay.
going to be many photos of me because these are all my photos, and
There's a few I've taken.
there's a few Zoots taken
But,
that
lots of them are on the Level Up TV
go on the Facebook page.
Facebook, yeah. Well, there's quite a few of you there, I think.
Yeah, so this was them. In effect, this is the room before it was set up, and the setup they're doing is not actually to do a QuakeCon at all. Went out in the garden. They had a massive propeller there. It looks like a bush is growing out there, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know if it was. That, yeah, having fun.
It's a
there.
natural propeller.
I'm looking pretty pimping with my sunglasses there, don't you think?
Wasn't that the one, Fear and Loathing in Texas, Dallas, isn't it? I like the descriptions we got on Facebook, but it does definitely remind me of that.
They had a pond with some like fishy in, little fishy.
Oh yeah, we totally touristed up the place with our fishy photos.
Oh, and look at this bar. Das slice of your summer, we. Yeah, I managed to cut off a bit of it.
We
I guess.
never went. Did you go in there at all?
I didn't go in the pool. We didn't get a chance.
No.
Didn't really get an opportunity somehow. Somehow,
Oh,
in our
yeah.
days of free time, we didn't get a chance to go in the pool.
We did literally spend the entire day out of the house, out of the hotel, I think, though.
Yeah, around the casting booth and that.
Mm.
Anyway, so yeah, this is the line setting up just before anybody turned up. We'll go through. Don't know if I'm allowed to show these, but they were setting up the area, so let's quickly go through those. We took a few
Good, so
photos
quick.
before we got chucked out.
Yeah, we did got thrown out at some point.
Registration hours, there you go. Oh, there you go.
Wasn't that meant to be a
Facebook
reminder,
photo.
the registration hours?
Yeah.
And that stuff, oh my god, some of the amount of people who commented on that as well. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing
I mean,
over.
no offense, but your legs look weird there.
I
Very
think
weird.
my pants, though, are slightly baggy.
I
Or
mean,
my-
look at that. What's that about? Like that's your shin, is it?
I was in a military
what's going
pose, though.
on? I'm a little bit confused about that. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, they had terracotta warriors there. I've been to China. I've seen the actual terracotta warriors,
Have you?
and I can tell you they wouldn't let you with real ones just go up and touch them. So I'm gonna guess that's a replica.
Oh, I'm sure there's many replicas at the Hilton Anatole.
Did you see the sort of steam thing spraying off the roof? Don't know what that's for. I'm not an expert in this kind of area.
I don't know, because I went out there expecting it to cool us off hugely, but it was just really hot there, even more so than usual. So
Maybe it's to stop people smoking there. Don't think it
no,
worked.
loads of people smoke there.
Don't
So
think it worked. All right, let's get through this. Sports bar, nice.
oh yeah, watching
Spent
the
a lot of
Olympics.
time there. Yeah, Zoot, look how happy he is. He found a plug. He can do his interneting, exciting stuff. And then Jahar turned up. Had a little chat with him. Of course, he was in charge of the QLTV team, well, part of the people, and obviously was the lead commentator at the
Yeah.
event. Let's go. Right. Okay. Oh, this is the JFK exhibition. We went and had a look at that. This is the viewpoint that he was shot by.
That's
Out
kind
the
of cool
window.
building. I don't know if that building existed when he died, but
What do you mean? He was shot from that building.
yeah, I know. But the building, the skyscraper in front.
Oh. I was thinking, you didn't read much, did you? Yeah.
I wasn't really listening at all on the tour guide.
Yeah, that's the view out of there. Let's have a look around. So
Very interesting,
this is
actually.
downtown Dallas. This is the kind of skyscrapers and buildings they've got around here. It's so bright, such a sunny day. Look how fast that car's going. It's all blurred. Look, as
Wow.
Zoot was trying to walk out into the road to get run over.
Did I can't remember if I
cheering
managed to
him
take a photo. There are lots of people who are doing it, running into the middle of the road and taking photos. I was like, yay, let's do it as well.
This is from in the road, and you can see the angle at
Oh,
which
you got
it's
it.
apparently shot by through there. There's lots of conspiracy theories about it, though. Don't know which one I believe. Which one do you believe, Zoot?
I don't know. I think it could have just been a lot more simple than it seemed. I think people are just there specifically overcomplicating things, but possibly the Lee Oswald Harvey.
Well,
I think
he did it, obviously.
yeah,
But did anybody else
did
do
it,
anything?
but I think it was under much more simple uh,
He just
and thoughts of intent than
he was
people think.
angry and he did it.
Yeah, maybe.
Fair enough. Let's go through. Yeah. Oh, at the shopping centre, North Park Mall. Here's Zoot. I don't like that angle. It's quite
You
nice.
told me if I touched it, there would be a monitor.
There wasn't.
I was very upset.
Panda Express had a bit of food there, didn't we?
That was good, actually. I enjoyed that meal. I couldn't finish
Yeah, it
it.
was alright. I quite like the vegetable spring rolls. They were pretty nice.
The drinks were huge. I was like, oh, I'll just get a medium drink, and they're the size of your head with like legs attached to
Well,
it.
that was on
They're so
Facebook.
big, those drinks.
Oh yeah, and these books we saw in Target. Then we went to a Target. These are some of the best books I've ever seen. Girls from Dahood 5.
Have you got my
Material
picture of
Girl.
me catching up with
Uh,
some
Unfaithful. Yeah.
literature?
Wearing my halo tilted. Ka-ching. And then obviously Zoot getting involved there. Girls from Dahood 4. You went for the fourth version. You didn't go for the fifth.
It's actually better than the third. I think
Oh,
I
is
find.
it? It's
Yeah.
a modern classic, is it?
Yeah, I mean they just keep getting better, from what I've read.
Yeah, we found. Obviously, you're a big fan of the royal family, aren't you, Zoot? A very big fan.
Well,
You
yeah,
love, you
I've
love
been
the Queen
into,
like a grandmother.
in some kind of perverted way. Yeah.
Yes. And so I just found a little toy for him that I thought would be suitable. Right, back to the QuakeCon event. Eventually, the car turned up. Look, it's not on show at this point.
It's actually what it looks like.
That's what it looks like when you drive it around. You have to wear that sheet over it so it doesn't get dirty.
It's very transparent.
There's started to be a bit of a queue building up. This is the day before.
There's some people there. I was, I think both of us were told by Jahar and or his wife, and they say people wait there for 48 hours at a time, sometimes more, to make
Crazy.
sure they are the first ones in QuakeCon.
Of course, it's a free event as well. I think it is kind of first come first serve, isn't it? Something along those
I don't
lines.
know. I think you have to book it at least. I don't know if
I think there's
no-
like it is a fast booking system to guarantee entry, but as far as I'm aware, it's still first come first serve. I don't
Yeah.
know. Don't take our word for that though. Let's cycle
just
through
turn up there and expect to get in, guys.
our
Yeah,
room.
it's Fine.
Our room now. This is quite a big, nice room here.
Yeah.
Zoo obviously has made a mess already. You can see like he's just. This is like
So it's
minutes after we've walked in.
hours unpacking meticulously.
Sort of weird angle you're there. You are there, Zoo, lying down with your arm in the air, enjoying the show. See, no mess from Disrepute here. No, very tidy individual.
Because
Got
you
a
didn't
team.
even
Look
show
at the bed.
much of
Look how
inside.
tidy the bed
Did you
is.
tidy the bed though? You have room
That's how I
every-
sleep. That tidy. Door, wardrobe. Let's go and have a look. His and her sinks, very suitable. You can see already all this crap all over the place. Mine, nice and neat. Wash
Mine's
bag.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mine's thinking
Shower
man's.
and toilet. Exciting stuff. Yeah, me in the mirror coming out of that room.
You look like you're trying to sell the hotel to people.
A desk. We actually had a desk, and that chair is really nice. I'm going to get one, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite expensive, but whatever.
people actually, we were phoned as
Donate
well.
to us.
Oh, it's a phone.
Yeah, we had a phone. We're famous. What were you watching there, Zoo?
Well, where? Oh, Olympics. Oh, that was some of the what's it called? Water polo.
Ah, okay.
Which was really enjoyable for various reasons I shan't
So
explain.
we've gone 20 minutes already. We still haven't got to the actual event yet.
Yeah,
Welcome to QuakeCon!
I think we're running out of photos soon, in fact.
Still people queuing up there. We've got the car. It's been opened up to have a look inside. Still
Yes.
people building booths and stuff. This is one of the cameras the production team from QLTV were working with.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's like an SLR with all these adapters and stuff. It's amazing. You saw the footage, anybody that saw
Mm.
the videos, it was actually incredible. It's like film quality. It was amazing stuff. Um,
Yeah, I know, it was superb.
the area we were working in had Alienware computers as part of it, donated
But that's
by
a
Alienware, I
tiny
guess.
bit of the area. I mean, that
Yeah.
it was vast. There was a tawny side area and then the backstage area.
And that is, of course, Matcom sitting at the computers.
Conrad next to it
Yeah.
on in the shot.
And the thing about Matcom is obviously he posted on ES Reality during the event. Didn't
Yeah.
get the most support from the ES Reality faithful, I have to say. But there he is working.
Right.
He's doing work there. It's proof.
Exactly, for all you doubters.
Go back to the Trinity.
Matt was awesome. I really enjoyed his company. A very cool guy.
Oh, and then we had some nice lunch, didn't we? That was Denny's. And there you go, sitting in a chair that's maybe suitable for your height, Zoo.
That's an amazing chair. I really wish I had that at home. I'd game in that chair happily.
Let's get through. Right, now, the main hall. This is what it looked like empty. It's pretty insane. I mean, how many people would you say were in the hall?
2000 or so?
2,000? 3,000 I heard. I think it
Maybe
splashed
3,000.
around. For the grand finals, every seat was full. And
Yeah,
there's people
were standing up at the bar.
I don't think we quite. I mean, I haven't seen the stream, but I'm not sure it got that impression across because I don't think people were very clear how many people were in there, and it really was pretty loud and excited, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the Open Cup was like a third to maybe 2/5 full. And the CTF was maybe 2/3, 4/5 full. And the grand final was just packed. It was
Fractions. Yeah.
Disrepute.
Yeah. So first day, nice little spelling error.
cannot believe
Disrepute. Nicely
how often-
highlighted there. That my
How
name's spelled.
often your name got said wrong. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Marty Stratton coming on stage, not being able to say my name at the end, and I just laughed, which I heard go out to the audience. My laughing. So I thought I'd better shut up now and just get off the stage.
It's very serious business.
Yeah, so there we go. This is the introduction bit. I'm at the front here. That's Todd.
Disrepute and Clipper. You guys should be a combo.
Shoutcasting Strenex.
Yeah.
See, that's quite full. This is example. Right, the seats right in front make it look not so full, but they're reserved seats.
Yeah.
Every other seat is full, and this is the introduction bit of the event. Before the keynote speech, there's John Carmack. This is the bit everybody's going to love. I've got a few photos of John Carmack doing his speech
Oh,
here.
God.
I was sitting right at the front, waiting to go back to do the shoutcasting afterwards, thinking, this is taking quite a while. I'm sure that we'll get a chance to do at least the quarters and semis. I'm sure. And
I was busy while you were doing that. I was busy having to get the demos from them. I kind of wish we had set up a second stream sooner. And well, I guess it leads us to a bit more of the feedback. We can maybe offer just our general discussions of it. But yeah, I won't tread into later's subject line. Just yet.
finally we got back to shoutcasting. Well, actually, let's bring it up now. Who had any comments about the shoutcast? Anybody got anything to say? Sorry, not the shoutcast, the keynote speech.
Yeah.
Got any questions in chat for me? I could decipher everything he said. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I could give you a bit of insight.
Decipher. He won't be happy about that. You can never decipher.
Oh, okay, I won't. I'll avoid that then. Right, by the way, while you're on the channel, remember everybody to follow the Twitch channel, so you know when we go live. Normally doing Quake, not just chatting and drinking orange juice. So,
It's really good orange
yeah, if
juice.
you've got any
honestly.
questions, throw them in. Zoot, keep an eye on that as I go on to
Wow.
the next picture. So this is the setup booth. We are behind the stage. Now, bear in mind, I don't know how far we can go into what details, but essentially, QuakeCon was supposed to be one stream. The schedule was that there would be games before the keynote speech. We'd miss a couple of games, then we'd catch up and do the rest of the duel in the evening, like after the keynote speech. The keynote got delayed at least 2 hours because of the late check-ins, because something like 300 people extra came to the event, or they booked but it was duplicated or something. There was some kind of issue, which meant it was
Yeah,
massively delayed. But the
exactly.
tournament schedule didn't change at all.
Yeah.
So the
No,
str
it did. It changed. Everything changed back 2 hours.
the tournament schedule didn't change.
Didn't it
No,
change back in the group stages? I can't
no, it
remember.
didn't.
I remember the games. I don't remember
Either
when they
way,
were
it
played.
meant we were going to miss more. But if John Carmack's keynote speech was scheduled for 2 hours. Now, I'm a big fan of his. I think his keynote speeches are very interesting in that. So I would never say to take the stream off of him, etc.
I
And
don't think. Yeah,
obviously,
you wouldn't be able to
you,
do
you
that. I
wouldn't you
just think
wouldn't
they should have.
end the stream. But the thing is about him, he has so much to say that his speeches can just go on for an indefinite amount of time. Plus, with the added questions, etc.
Exactly.
Basically, it lasted something like
Four,
4 hours, something
Yeah,
like that,
around 4.
overall, with the questions in at the end, etc., which
Mm.
was obviously 6 hour period and a massive 4 hour shift in the time, which meant the entire tournament
Mm. It was just
we
yeah,
missed
moved
it.
over.
And the
But
problem,
that's one thing that definitely should have been rectified sooner was sorting out a second stream. I think maybe we should have used the power of foresight a bit more and have done that. I think that would definitely have fixed everything and made it a lot nicer. But I mean,
it's
of
easier.
course,
I mean,
we had other things on our mind. So
well, yeah. I mean, it's fair to say we weren't actually in charge of the stream
no,
per
quite.
se.
But we were definitely free to give our input.
Yeah, they allowed us, and we suggested certain things. And I
We
mean,
got
me
we
and
got
Zoo
like
honestly didn't think of this is a bit stupid now, but didn't think the day before we asked how many streams there'd be. There was some confusion because some people thought there'd be more streams.
yeah,
Some
I thought
people
there'd be
think
more
there'd
than
only
one.
be one. Essentially, what had been agreed was one stream.
Mm. Yeah, so regretfully not having two.
So
We were also told that the stream would be undisturbed as well, so
we were
it,
behind
it
the.
seemed like there was a lot of people putting their input into when and where and what streams will be on, and obviously when and where. And yeah, there felt like there wasn't really enough clarity in the situations.
I think if we go back, we can look at it in retrospect and say, yeah, we should have made sure. And I mean, in all
Mm.
honesty, this is the QLTV team were trying to prepare a second stream from like midway through the first day, but they didn't have the equipment available to do it.
Yeah,
Which might seem a bit silly when you're at a PC tournament, but they didn't until later on that evening when they set it up fully for the next day. Now, once the keynote speech was going and it was massively delaying and clashing with the tournament,
yeah.
the problem is it's too late by that point to get a second stream. That's almost the problem with it.
Mm.
And it wasn't, I guess, thought about that might happen. I guess there
Yeah.
wasn't
Can I just ask answer a question quickly? It was owned TV because Jahar works for owned, and we could not use Twitch.tv and have Jahar at the same time. That would have not been working. So the reason it was owned is just because of Jahar's work, and that was it. I think.
Well, we don't know why, but obviously he does work for Owned.
Jahar couldn't appear on Twitch basically, and Jahar was already booked in to work at the event.
And obviously we're not contracted to either, so we can appear wherever we want.
Precisely.
Why don't we appear on something else, eh?
I don't know,
Ustream,
honestly,
eh,
to be
Zoo? Let's
honest,
move
so-
to Ustream, yeah.
Whoa. Sorry, I was interrupting you. I was just seeing this question pop up a bit, and
Yeah, I mean, we can't really speak for the other people that are involved, but from our part, obviously we felt like we wanted to cast more, but there wasn't. We casted as much as was available to.
Mm.
That is essentially what we'd say. And well, let's just keep going through the photos first.
Sure.
But this is the setup in the back area. We had like a nice monitor there. We can preview the stream, which is something I don't really have at home. I just have XSplit
I
preview.
like that. I really like being able
That was
to
useful.
preview it.
We had quite a big setup there. I mean, you can see there's a team there with multiple systems up, setting
Lots of
the
cables.
stream, lots of cables. Oh, I was in the lift, just randomly thrown in there. Not really sure why it's in that order. Yeah, the lobby, they had a nice QuakeCon pillar. I was excited about that bit.
I know you were. You were very excited by it. That
And
was a good pillar.
then finally we get into the BYOC, which was full and it was
Yeah.
packed. And
To the brim.
I mean, if you've been to a BYOC before, like DreamHack, very similar feeling. Probably not quite the scale of DreamHack.
I felt like the general participants there were, about on average 3 or 4 years older.
Yeah, I felt like QuakeCon they're a little bit older. Everybody
Hmm.
there felt more like a community that's always there every year, whereas DreamHack feels like there's a lot of fresh, like more
Yeah,
newer
it's like people come
there.
and go every year.
That's just a feeling you get with it.
Mm.
But like the main hall, this was similar to DreamHack, you'd say, in the look and feel of it. There wasn't like a big stage playing music whenever I went in there. Like at
No,
DreamHack's, the main hall is pretty crazy. They just have like the stage just pumping out music all night.
yeah, yeah.
But it had the same kind of feel to it, you know? And like most BOOCs, pretty similar. This is the tournament area in the back room. Now, one thing I have to say about it is a little bit unusual in the fact that the tournament area is segregated pretty much from everything else. It's got this massive curtain. We can just see, not to the left here, that's just like storage, whatever, but to the right is the exhibitors area, and it's in a different sort of room, essentially, to the BYOC. So it's completely separate area. Well, there's the car. I don't know what order these photos are in. I guess they're as I took them, but...
So there's also some talk about the brackets that were being updated during the stream, during the event. And I think that's another thing that could have been overlooked because obviously the brackets were updated for the use of the tournament admins and the players involved. But I think they could have maybe done some, was it some, just they didn't have to publish the brackets, I don't think.
Well, I think
Because if we were doing the fact that we did demo casting and everything was put on later, if the brackets were updated maybe as the demo was going on, or even just the next day everything went up, provided we communicated what was going on, then I think it would have been all right to publish brackets later. I think that's definitely one thing that was a flaw when we decided to do the demo casting.
the biggest issues were the day one, where we missed
Yeah.
most of the tournament doing it live and had to do the demo cast.
And it was just a pity because it set the tone for the event sort of slightly negatively. I mean, the next day, the CTF the next day was the coverage of it was a lot better. I mean, it was, yeah. I don't know if there were many problems with the stream or anything, but we were definitely constantly around.
Yeah,
And
I think we streamed all day the next
but
day,
the,
like constantly.
the thing is, we got so many viewers at the beginning of QuakeCon, we lost half of them at least by the second day because of obviously all the ups and downs there were.
I think we also have to remember that I don't know if there's a logistical reason as to why the CTF is day two. Maybe because there's more players, so it's harder for them to turn up. But maybe it should start off day one with the CTF because the bigger event's the duel. So if there were any problems on day one, they should
I
be
don't know if you can. I
rectified
think
by day two for the
because
duel.
CTF they need more. As you said, I think the players
Yeah,
getting there
that's
probably.
probably the main issue. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, the whole tournament area ran really smoothly, operated really well. They played all their games. They had no problems with the systems. I didn't hear any complaint at all. And
Yeah.
it looked really good when we went there. In fact, on the day zero, I guess you'd call it, me and Zoot actually, we helped set up all the PCs and test them, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we were making sure that Quake worked on all of them.
Yeah.
And we took us it took us about 10 to 20 minutes per computer to work out if they were working,
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
had to play a game on each one of them.
depending on the game type, of course.
Yeah, Zoot looking pretty cool there
Of course.
in
With
the
my normal
exhibitors
jeans.
area.
So yeah, there's me dressed appropriately.
The Alienware computers, you can change the colour of these. This is pretty cool, and we chose pink.
Because we were very manly.
Of course, pink is traditionally a manly colour. I'm going to emphasise that every time anybody talks about pink. The keyboard, yeah. There you go. I took a picture of Zoot and Fear. This must have been day two doing the CTF from the booth area. Now, this is behind the main hall. There was one little issue with that, is when panels were going on, we were behind basically a curtain behind the main stage, and sometimes we did have to get told to keep it a little bit quieter.
Yeah, I got told to shut up halfway through a
That
CTF.
Zoot does like to shout, to be fair.
I was
I
pretty
almost felt like saying,
exciting
shut up,
CTF.
Zoot.
I was annoyed that I couldn't shout because I thought I was trying to bring some excitement, some tension to the game,
You
and it
don't
wasn't
bring
an
any
exciting game. I think
excitement.
it was DMZ versus.
The CTF games were pretty good, actually, weren't they? I mean, the earlier ones. It's a shame about the final was such a...
There was one map that was okay, and I think the second map in the finals. But apart from that, it was kind of a very one-way.
Yeah, it was pretty one way. That was the only thing. But actually, earlier on, the games have been pretty close, hadn't they?
They
And
were
pretty
really
exciting.
the games beforehand were so good. They should have been on the main stage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what we should rally for next year. Every game on main stage.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that. I love that.
yeah, so this is the rest of the team, just working backstage. Now, what you got to bear in mind is actually, no, QLTV had, I don't know if we're supposed to call them that, but the team that were
The team
QLTV.
at QuakeCon, which
Yeah,
did TV for Quake Live.
yeah. They
Yeah.
had quite a decent sized team, a lot of video production work. They went around filming all kinds of things, creating loads of videos on the spot, and that's pretty much most of their time was taken up with. Most of the team was doing that. Then some of the team were obviously doing the live stream. I know there was some issues with I don't know what, but that caused some kind of FPS problems on the stream. I don't know if that was just routing issues or whatever. I'm not
I
an
think it
expert.
was bottlenecking in some kind of system they had. I
There
remember
was,
them shouting about it at
as
some
far as I
point.
heard, basically because they had to go through the stage systems as well. There was some kind of issues with that. I don't know, not technical expert. From our point of view, we didn't know any of this was going on. That is one thing, at least from
Yeah,
our point of view, next year, Zoot, that we should have, like, we should take ourselves some, like, if we were to go again, or if we
take
go
some
to
what?
any event, we would want to keep in more contact with, like, the community and the people watching, like we would normally do with the Twitch chat, like we have it up now,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
suppose I should be looking at more, ironically. Um, but so we can keep an eye on that and interact with the community a bit more. That's what I felt like from our point of view. Maybe we should have like prepared in that way. Like we should have brought a computer ourselves, a laptop, whatever, and hooked that up to do that kind of thing.
Mm,
So maybe on our point of view, we could have prepared a little bit better in that area. So we
it's
did
true.
feel a
Well,
little
I
bit
had my
disconnected.
laptop around, but I was usually waiting for the stream to go. Like, I had my laptop in at some places in the event, but
Um,
not enough.
it's cool lights they had. Lights on us, like these multicolored lights.
Oh, they were awesome.
Someone will explain the reason why they like that to us, but
Pure light. You
I
wanted the
don't know.
purest white
Purest
light.
light. Um,
That's
yeah,
what it offers, didn't they?
that
Didn't you remember them telling you?
that's kind of backstage. It looks pretty cool actually when it's lit up like this. It didn't look like that. It was a lot darker.
Oh yeah,
They got the
that's a
whole
good picture.
stream, which on the preview, I mean, it looked fine. So I don't know, if the FPS issues and that were routing or what really. Um, let's see,
There were
zoot here.
bandwidth issues after the John Carmack event because of how big. I think it was a 350 gig file was for his keynote.
Are you sure about this as being a fact of why something happened, or are you
I know
speculating?
that there was bandwidth discussions, and I know that the file for John Carmack's video was enormous, sort of beyond belief kind of size. But
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a contribution that was to the stream not being able to function to its 100%.
This area is a really cool area about QuakeCon. Actually, is one of the best aspects of QuakeCon. I thought they have
This
this
was
mini
cool.
stage in the exhibitors area where they're constantly doing shootouts and little events and little fun things. I mean, if you go to the QuakeCon Flickr, you can
Flickr,
see a
yeah.
lot of the different fun things they did. I mean, it's like it looked really fun. There was a really great atmosphere around that area, and that's just in the exhibitors section. Oh, well, I've gone. I thought I'd have more of the exhibitors, but I've gone back now. That's Fear and Jahar. Yeah, okay, so this is in the
Fear was
exhibitors
cool. Fear
section.
was a very cool guy. Well, yeah, we should
Very
speak about him a
knowledgeable.
little bit because he was I think it was his first big event to cast at because a lot of the time he'd been
Yeah, I don't think
doing
he casted
interviews.
last year. I think he said he
Yeah,
just was doing interviews and like.
I think he was pretty good, and if there are CTF events in America, then he should definitely be the guy on it.
Um, so yeah, these are some of the case mods and stuff that were going on. And oh, look at this! I think this won. I think if you watch the stream, this won. But this is a
Is
crazy
it the
case
green
mod.
thing?
Yes,
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
that's insane. And they have a competition at QuakeCon. They have all these community events, and I think
Yeah.
obviously we as competitive players, we're wanting just the tournaments and that, but there's so many other things about QuakeCon. And actually, on the stream, when you watch it, I actually found it
Mm.
quite entertaining. All these little things, and I think there is a place to mix the two together.
Mm.
This was the CSN booth. Don't know if you spent any time there, Zoo.
Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time there. I was saying hello to them. Just talking to Steve, John Clark, Wonka was there for a bit. I think there's some various other people like the producers of, or the developers, sorry, of Offensive Combat. And there's lots of games, loads of tournaments going on. I think last year CSN did 32 tournaments at QuakeCon BYOC,
32, wow.
and this year they've done over 30. So they haven't. They when I asked them, they weren't sure.
It's a good
Still.
aspect to have at a LAN, you know, all these extra tournaments for the BYOC people that are going on as well as the pro tournaments to the side. I think that's really interesting. One of the best bits, actually, I always want to mention this, is the fact that QuakeCon is free for people to enter the tournaments. I found that incredible. Like,
Yeah,
pretty much no other tournaments like that.
and there was some crazy one. I think one of the offensive combat prizes was you get flown over to contribute to the development of the game, and then there's a lot of tournaments that's just just hop in and you can be in the chance to win $150 or something like that. There's just so much stuff being handed to people.
And I mean, specifically, like, the actual Quake Live tournaments, though, the professional tournaments as well, it's like free to enter, so I think it's pretty amazing.
Was the Masters tournament free to enter?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really impressive.
BYOC. There's Cypher playing, a CZM just behind him. Didn't actually get many shots of the players playing because we honestly didn't spend that much time in the tournament area. Well, I didn't, because I was around the casting booth.
When I wasn't in the casting booth, I was in the tournament area. I tried to watch some of the games when you and Jahar or you and Fear were casting.
Yeah.
I would spend time around this area sorting things out and talking to the team or the players. And yeah, lots of people. It was such a nice atmosphere there. People would get some sofas out there, turn one of the monitors around, put the stream on without sound, and it would be great to watch some of the big games that were going on there. It was a really good atmosphere. And, when you could see all the tense moments, everyone was there to share it with each other, talk about what could have happened, what should have happened, what would have happened, and that's something that I find very special about LAN events, and something that I've only started experiencing this year. So yeah, to me, that's one of the big pros of going to these events. You get to talk about Quake without being ridiculed by people you normally have your lunch with or whatever in college, university.
Do you get ridiculed often?
No, but after
By me. Don't talk about Quake.
after I talk about Quake for more than a couple of minutes, people are kind of sort of
They're confused, I think.
yeah, exactly. They're just uncertain what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah, the hall filling up then. I think this must have been, for the finals. So, missed out. I didn't actually get as many photos as maybe I would have liked. Yeah, the finals, because the PC's on the stage. This is on the stage at the moment, just the empty hall.
Oh no, are you sure that wasn't the time when they were just throwing goodies at people?
Oh yeah, they were throwing goodies and they cleared everyone out. So, I mean, this is finals day
goodies.
on the Alienware stage. So they got the PCs set up. Yeah, what kind of stuff were they giving out?
Hang on, I'm going to go full screen.
What kind of stuff were they giving out? Do you remember, Zoot?
There was a GTX 690 that they gave out, and some horrendously attractive girl got it with her.
So I think you're going to say that horrendously attractive girl was given out.
There was lots of T-shirts and little bits and bobs. We didn't see most of it. I think there were lots of cases and coolers and PSUs and whatnot being given. Lots of RAM. Any computer component or gaming accessory would have been given out there.
And like one of the big prizes was a ticket for the raffle for the car.
Yeah, that was huge.
What was the car, like 40 grand or something, or 50 grand? Like, it was
no, I don't think it was. It was between 30 and 50, I think.
Between 30 and 50, yeah.
Because they're fairly cheap in America. Those cars. Yeah.
No, that's an expensive car.
Yeah, but that kind of car.
I don't know what car you drive, Zoot. I don't know what car you drive. 30 or 50 grand. That's cheap.
Listen. Like that kind of car, in terms of showing off and stuff, you'd have to spend.
There you go. Sinkero's in the chat actually, and he says 58k and 61k.
Oh, okay, then it's more than I thought. But still, if you want to get the same kind of car to show off in Britain, it would cost you more than that.
Yeah, it would cost more in Britain. Yeah. But everything costs more in Britain.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the stage, the setup that we had. You see, Zoot is just constantly downing that drink.
Yeah, those are balls drink, something that got made fun of a lot, which is very clever marketing.
And then
but
people starting to come in now to the event. So this is me taking photos, obviously, of the CTF because we'd already done the Open Duel final, and then Zoot and Fear carried on to do the CTF. So I've got a few photos of that. That's kind of view of us from the stage, Zoot. Kind of view, very small for the audience.
I think that's
Not so small on the big screens.
deceptive. It was actually pretty well filled, the CTF event.
Yeah, I
I
mean
thought.
this photo's after the match, so a lot of people leaving just to get whatever.
Yeah.
2 hours before the grand finals. I don't think I got any photos from the stage of the audience for the grand finals. I didn't really get an
I
opportunity,
think I
obviously.
may have got one or two photos, but I don't know if the stage audience was full at all. I can't remember.
They're the Czechs. Then this was after the event. So it goes from sort
Yeah.
of people leaving the room, great
Some
photo,
strange
Disrepute,
chronological
to
order.
an empty room. So I didn't get the best photos maybe, but yeah, and then look at this. This is insane. This is exactly what I've always suggested they do, which is create medals, create something more
Well,
than just a
I
money as a
thought the
prize.
model sticking out the ground, but it's just a close up.
That's just me holding it on, and here's Wonko wearing it. You've got a ribbon. That is a thick ribbon, and then you've got the
Oh.
this metal, this solid metal cut out QuakeCon. Like, that is insane. Like, that is so good. That medal. That is amazing. I was so
Yeah.
impressed by it. I was excited. I didn't get one though, but I got to wear that one. So thanks to
Yeah,
Wonko.
you got to like I got to touch it and stuff. I mean, it was kind of exciting.
There's our press pass Disrepute. Spelt my name right.
They got
Somehow I managed that.
spelt it yourself this
Got a
time.
Quake 4 logo, unfortunately. Oh, well. Can't have everything. And then Zoot pretended to be asleep, and he said, "It's okay if we take pictures of each other asleep on the plane."
I didn't say that.
I
What?
didn't sleep. Oh, what's coming up next,
So I
Zoot?
can get a picture of it.
What's coming up next, I wonder? So this is him pretending to be asleep. This is how he thinks he
Wait,
looks.
wait, wait, hang on. Someone in the chat. Is that you? Did you win that car?
What?
Someone posted a picture on chat. Are they the winners of that car?
What, the person on chat?
KXLM?
I,
The
don't, I,
pic-
I wouldn't think so. I don't know.
So it does look identical to it.
Are you ready to see the picture, the
Yes,
final
get
pictures in my
to-
gallery? Here's Zoot properly asleep. Oh, you look so beautiful. And by the way, he slept for, I don't know, of an 8-hour flight, 7 hours of it, and I slept 0
Oh, you
hours.
slept for about
Here's
5
a
minutes
close
just
up of
before
your
it landed.
face. People
While
were
it was
looking at me
landing.
going, "What's he doing?" Didn't stop me.
Thanks,
They didn't
thanks.
stop me doing it.
So
I like the
elegant,
last
yeah.
view. I like the hands. Very
That's not
vampire-like.
creepy at all.
Yeah, very nice. Anyway,
Big
yeah.
Congratulations to that guy winning the car. It's so cool that a level up viewer is a winner of that.
So, I mean, is there any areas we want to discuss? Any questions people have about the event? What I'd say is that
Hmm.
although there was obviously criticism about the stream,
Yeah.
everybody involved and everybody in the tournament area, everybody at QuakeCon, and I know it seems like maybe there's not as much care about Quake Live as you think there should be because of the way certain things happen. But actually, everybody around there has so much passion for the game. I mean,
Oh, it's
you speak
huge.
to
Oh, it's
Syncera, you
so
speak to
immense.
Sponge, they work on the game. They are so passionate about it.
I've-
Syncera's whole family was there helping out.
I mean, you were casting the finals. I was in the audience for the finals, and the kind of the way people react to every little part of the game there is just phenomenal. Everyone there is, loves being a part of it, and you can tell that the all the finals are really.
Oh
sort
yeah,
of,
the audience were really enjoying it, and it's a big audience. There's a
Hugely,
lot
yeah.
of the people there at the event were in the
When
audience
Cypher
watching
was
it.
coming back
Yeah,
on
that's insane.
Aero Walk and T7, there was a riot.
The atmosphere
going
is
on.
incredible. I mean, it is like, we've seen the
Yeah.
you saw that arena one at DreamHack Winter, was it? Last year in that ice hockey arena. It was kind of the same kind of atmosphere there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's you get this real, but in a way, QuakeCon's even more intense. It's in a bit of a
It
smaller
is.
room, and there's just everybody really excited and going crazy over it. I mean, it's incredible, actually.
The American supporters. What I found crazy is that the amount of people supporting Cypher in contrast to Dahang. There was a huge amount of American supporters, but the noise for Cypher was just as big,
Yeah.
if not bigger.
I think a lot of people really understood the game and respected the skill
Yeah.
level involved, and it was an incredible final. Let's be honest. I mean,
It
Dahang
was amazing.
absolutely owned it. The first maps, like the first map, ZTN. I've never seen anything like it. He just locked Cypher down. He didn't give him any opportunity to get back
Yeah,
into
it
it.
took everything.
That was
Took all the
incredible.
items.
I didn't know what to say. I was sitting on stage going, "What's going on?" I thought
I
Cypher was
wish
going
I
to
was
win
watching this
easily.
instead of casting.
I was like, "Come on, Europe!" But It's like example the tournament staff. You know, they care about the games. They get them sorted out. They really
Mm.
do. We were playing with all of them when we got the opportunity. We were playing with all these
Yeah.
players. The QLTV team. They care about Quake. They were playing it with us. They were. We had lots of discussions about it, and they felt bad about the fact that maybe they didn't fulfill what they hoped they could have. They wanted to do so much more footage, and things just didn't work out well. And we had discussions about the fact that some people like PicMip, some people like no PicMip, etc. And like you can see the
Yeah.
arguments for using one or the other, and there's no real right answer in that area.
Well, okay, what about Pick? What do you think? Do you think that Pikmin Zero was good? What do you? Were you
Personally,
happy with it?
personally, I'd prefer PicMip Zero. Honestly,
Yeah.
certain
Hmm.
maps I wouldn't prefer it on, like ZTN.
Yeah.
I like simple items, but I like the physical models as well. So that's an area like I would like a combination. So, say for example, the gun model, and I
Yeah.
think it should be a little bit smaller maybe, but had like the simple icon above it as well, so you get a recognition of what it represents on your scoreboard. I mean, I talked to people, I got people to watch who haven't watched Quake before particularly, and they gave me some feedback on how Quake is to watch, etc., and what the confusing elements are, which we can maybe go over another time
Hmm.
or give our feedback. Um,
No, I thought Pikmin Zero was great. I thought the game looked really nice. I completely forgot. I know I was doing some tests with Pikmin Zero, but the game does look pretty nice.
I think it looks really good, and I think if we'd just been using it since the start of Quake Live, nobody would have a problem with it.
Exactly. Some of the newer maps as well with Pikmin Zero look
They look
brilliant.
stunning. They look like up there with a lot of new games. I wouldn't say they're obviously better graphics.
I
than
wouldn't say
new games.
groundbreaking graphics
They
that
look good.
require state-of-the-art systems, but it's definitely something multiplayer, competitive, and aesthetically
Well, the thing about
pleasing.
Quake Live is it always had such strong art direction compared to many other games, especially modern games where they're just some desert or whatever. There's no thought process gone into that. But Quake 3 and
We've
obviously
got
Quake Live,
a
so
million
unique.
megabytes to show this piece of grass and stuff like that. No.
Um, yeah,
Well,
so
yeah,
so
I
I,
agree with
I
Cinco. Yeah, people looking for a comeback. I think that was definitely part of it, and it was awesome. When the comeback started, it was relentless. Sorry, I'm just reading chat a bit.
um I don't we had some input on the config. It's very hard from us as shoutcasters to know what it actually looks like once it's out on stream.
Yeah,
We
I mean the
generally
main
see it in
things
game.
to assess of the config basically are the simple items on or off, pick MIP 0 or not, the FOV 105 or not, or something like that, and the crosshair. That's more or less the only input you really get. Oh, and enemy models.
Well, you put a
as
little
well.
bit of bloom on, that kind of thing, to make it look nice.
There's surprisingly little to it once you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is if you give suggestions on what to change on the stream, somebody else gives the opposite suggestion.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is what happens all the time. If I've been streaming since 2009 with roughly the same config, and every time I stream, someone will suggest, you should do this, you should do that. And it's not like their ideas are wrong, they're just different opinions.
If there's a petition or something of it, and you get, say, 50 people saying, yeah, this would be a lot better or more, then there'll be some valid reason to it. But sometimes, like, okay, just because that's the way you prefer it, we're not going to change it just because of that. We need some kind of, factual evidence as to why something is better.
But going back to Pikmin Zero, the reason we don't use it is because at the lower qualities, the game can become a bit unwatchable. At the higher qualities, it's perfect. It looks mint, and I would run it every week in Pikmin Zero. I honestly would. Even though I do actually like Pikmin 16 that we run at, I really like the look of it.
Yeah,
At the
I
same
think people
time, I
did
really like the
care
look of the textures. So
some people did care that it was Pikmin 0. Lots of people were like, oh, I'll put it back to Pikmin 8 or 16.
it's what they're used to.
But
Isn't
the
it?
lag was definitely the stuff that was
I don't
more
think
important.
I don't think the lag was actually related to. I don't know, like the lower quality
I'm
stream,
pretty
the
sure it
320 or
wasn't.
whatever it was, maybe be a problem with I don't know what the stats are on people that watch at that quality, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So should we take some questions anyway? Has anybody got any questions about things?
Just, yeah.
Why did we
Pikmin
change
0.
from a close CTF match once to a roof game which wasn't close?
Oh, that was the instructions of someone or something. They wanted to show roof, and we moved it. I think it was a Seriously Ill versus DMZ game or something. I can't remember what it was, but
I
I
thought we
remember
finished that
being,
game first and then we switched.
yeah, I don't think the guys who made that decision realized how much of a one-sided game that roof game would be. Because they just wanted to showcase, the brilliance of Rafa to hang together with Sparks and who was the fourth? I should remember the fourth. Sparks and ID, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean that's just a magical team that you want to stream, but I think it would have been fine to say because they would have been in the finals regardless. Let's face it. It's not like we were gonna.
Well, I think we streamed them anyway, so it's fine. It worked.
Yeah,
out
they've
fine.
been a bracket finals, and then they.
We finished the game we were on, and then we went to them, and then we streamed a whole map of them.
I think you did the whole map, and then instead of going to the second map, you
No,
went to the roof.
that was it. That was the second map. So we missed their first map.
No, I think it was you missed a map from them.
No, we didn't.
You missed the first roof map.
Yeah, we missed the first roof map
Yeah.
because we were
Agreed.
already streaming a game that we finished, and then we missed their first map. But then we went to the second map, and we saw that, and that was 8-0. But it's pretty incredible their skill.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wish I could play CTF like that.
It's really fantastic. Could the finalists hear you cast? If so, were you trying not to give much information away? Well, we had to turn off the timers. So we basically had a computer where we had the timers that wasn't being streamed, and the casters could see it themselves, which happened to be me and Fear, I think. And then you had the computer streaming that didn't have it because players like Sparks and I think there's one other I can't remember the name of. They play completely on their side, so they can basically stare at the monitor or at the big monitor on stage, which shows all the timings. So of course, you had to get rid of the timers, otherwise it would have been an unfair advantage.
When I was doing the dual final as well, I got a message in my ear saying that we shouldn't be saying any health or any kind of details, which is quite hard because obviously when you cast online, you're all constantly relaying all the information or whatever to the stream. But we tried not to give too much of the detail away. We probably failed in some ways, but.
It's not like we said, okay, now the flag carrier has 5 HP and is stood in such and such a room. Hopefully no one's going to attack him. Wink, wink. It's you could. I still felt I had the freedom to cast just the way I normally did. So
Yeah, I mean it was only a little bit of limitation, which is obvious why. Did you get any shirts or anything to give away for Level Up TV? No,
sadly
not.
Oh, we got loads of offensive combat keys. At least I do. I've got tons of offensive combat keys.
We should have tried and jumped in the crowd to win the free T-shirts.
Yeah.
We bought our T-shirts.
Yeah. I bought Kook a T-shirt and a little... Actually, is this going to be a little gadget getting out?
Oh yeah, yeah, and Zoot, show us your stuff while we look at different questions.
Alright, this is for Kook, the deliberate murder manager, I think. And I bought him a little one of these models, as you can see. I've still got it in the plastic bag. For some reason, he wanted one of those. They look kind of nice. We saw a little booth where these guys were painting them very nicely and fantasy-like, you could say. And then he wanted an XXL shirt for QuakeCon,
That's what
which
I'm wearing
is
now.
cute. I can barely fit it in the camera.
Are you on reverse your camera?
For some reason, on your camera, I'm in reverse, but on mine, I'm not.
Do the reverse thing then.
Shall I do that?
Let's watch Zoot in another
Alright, hang on. I'm just...
another angle. Whoa! Oh, you're
Alright,
like
so
a different
stop change for
creature.
that. Okay. Right, so I've got that, and we've got lots of... Oh, the shirt I'm wearing at the moment as well.
Look at him scrabbling around.
And then I also bought one of these. This is I'm going to give to my girlfriend because she likes drinking shots or something.
Hopefully she's not watching.
No, she's downstairs.
So you've given it to her already?
Yeah, she does know she does know that it's hers. So bought a fridge magnet.
Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually read that, but oh, you can.
Yeah, you have to do it slowly though, Zoot.
Oh, no, I
Not
saw
like
it.
your camera work, which was just making people sick.
I
Switch around.
deliberately did that. Did I buy anything? I bought something for my sister, which is like this electronic worm gadget thing. I don't really know what it was, but apparently it's very nice and futuristic-y, and I thought it would be lovely. Did I buy anything else, this? Oh yeah, I remember one other thing. This was at the Dallas Cowboys American football team fan shop, or whatever you want to call it. And I got one of these massive... Why do I never remember what they're called?
Pitcher? No, it's not pitcher.
It's a bit like it's like a liter mug glass thing.
Yeah.
pretty huge, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to get.
That's
'Cause-
what, the Dallas Cowboys, is it?
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's
the
yeah.
Lone Star State. So
Uh,
let's see. Any more questions?
did
Was
you know
the
anyone?
organisers happy with you
Oh,
guys?
did you eat all your sweets?
I hope so.
What?
Did you meet Sinkera or Sponge? Were
Yeah,
they
we met
even
both.
attending QuakeCon? Yeah, they were both there. They were both working the whole time. In fact, they did like a patch or something the night before, so
Yeah, yeah.
they were working hard, and they really care about the tournaments and that. They really do. I mean, you speak to them, you can tell the passion they've got.
Oh yeah, Sponge, I loved it. Oh, I saw Sponge playing lots of Quake as well. Sort of towards the end of the tournament, when after the finals and stuff, he's playing some Quake, and also offensive. Him and Steve-O were playing lots of offensive combat. So, and you know, they love FPS games, and they love Quake more importantly. And you can see their skill as well. They're actually really good. I thought these guys can't have any time to play Quake because they must be so busy working, but they've
What are you
definitely.
implying? They just play Quake all day.
They've just got a long history of it, so that's never going to go, and never going to leave someone's play style, in my opinion.
I would like to see the VODs as well. I don't know when they'll be up. I believe they have to be approved in some way or something along those. I don't know. Um,
Hmm.
and they will, I guess, be on the QuakeCon YouTube channel, which is
That's
why
what
they're not on the owned channel because that's not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, no,
So
that's what I heard.
hopefully we'll see them soon because I would like to watch that as well.
Hmm. Gonna be going back next year. I really hope so. The amount of fun I had over there, the amount of amazing people that I also met. I know Sinclair's watching, and it might feel a bit like begging, but anyway, I'll put my hands
Like
together.
begging.
It was just amazing being a part of that, and I, I really hope I can go again, basically, because it was literally upsetting having to go home. I was like, it's such a shame to have to leave these people now.
Tell your girlfriend that. It is
I did.
upsetting to return to your girlfriend.
I did. I was like, yeah, it was amazing. Do I have to come back yet?
And she was
Should
like, no, stay out there. I'm
yeah,
busy.
completely.
I'm busy with my friends.
No, she has no friends.
Wow, okay.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Let's clarify. That was a joke.
Um, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was so. It really, if you want to experience the best from QuakeCon, you have to go there yourself, and it's worth. Like Air Raid, he came along with Rocks, and for him, he says, he wasn't really bothered about what happened in the tournament. He was there on holiday, and he wanted to have fun, and I think he did, and he definitely looked really happy every time I saw him at the event. Apart from after Sparks versus Air Raid, that match was so close, and as soon as there is a VOD up of this, I think it's either a group game or it's an eighth final, and it was amazing. So guys, make sure you watch that. What's it like compared to DreamHack? It's different because DreamHack's just huge industrial scale.
It's like sprawling across mountains of land. There's
Yeah.
so many people just wandering around.
And there's lots of people who wander around in different groups. I mean, it doesn't seem like everyone there really has a sort of home friendship group to go back to, and the community at QuakeCon is much tighter. You can tell sort of the camaraderie everyone has together, and everyone goes through the highs and lows with each other. Yeah.
There's a big difference for me about DreamHack and QuakeCon is that at DreamHack, the competition, the PCs are out on show where people are playing, and anybody can walk around and watch them at any time. In QuakeCon, it was right at the back, out of
Yeah.
view.
I think you could get people to. I mean, this is just saying sort of how it could be possible to change it. But the thing is, you'd need very strict sort of, okay, you cannot enter past this point, and sort of hopefully watch from a distance the players playing. I kind of like that the players have their own privacy because it means they're not getting disturbed by, I don't know, maybe children walking over their mouse cable and.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's children going around, wasn't there? Yeah, it had quite a friendly atmosphere, where kids would be fine going around the event. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of young people there as well. And there was the virtual reality headset. It was called beginning of an O or something.
Yeah, that John Carmack spoke about
Shoeless.
on the keynote.
It was really cool. I got a little bit of footage on my iPod of it.
You didn't
Uh,
get to try it though, did you?
no, the queue was huge for it, so I was like, I'll have to skip that, I guess. And yeah, Ince, thank God you weren't at QuakeCon.
Do you think any European team could have defeated Roof?
Yeah, definitely. If I think if Lincoln wins,
We say that every year, and then
if a
the
known game,
Europeans go and lose in CTF. So
I think
I'm going to say no.
I'd say Roof had a pretty incredible lineup, but I think if the CTF community in Europe was better and the top teams actually were able to practice more, then I think teams like Broken, Kick, Unknown, DP, they would definitely all be challenging for first, second, third place or whatever.
Well, potentially, but the
I
thing
think
is,
Roof would
you've got to go out there and do it, haven't you? I mean, the way I see it, okay, there might not be the monetary guarantee unless you win it, but hey, you should go there to win, right?
that's
And maybe plan it as a holiday. I mean, obviously, it was a bit of a late announcement, which
yeah.
obviously stopped some teams. You can't be too critical of that, but you really can't say, oh, Europeans would have won it
No,
unless they.
I wouldn't have said I mean, Roof looked pretty unbeatable, but I do think European teams have a different kind of style and a different sort of way of doing CTF that that the American teams would have had to get used to.
The way I
Uh,
see it, we can give the Americans CTF and the Europeans TDM, and let's get some kind of crazy land together with all
and you,
three game types. Maybe chuck in freeze tag and CA and just multi it and just have some kind of intercontinental clash where we have a European super team that plays all modes, an American super team plays all modes, and then they just fight. Ah! And we
or
see
in
who's the
Iceland,
best
or something
overall.
neutral.
In Iceland, yeah.
Yeah, let's get them all over there.
IceCon.
Invite Roof to Adroits.
Well, that'd
Well,
be good. I mean, for TDM,
yeah.
yeah,
But I think for
an American
TDM,
team.
probably have some kind of team. Dahang, Rafa, CZM, and I don't know, DKT or someone. They'd make some kind of ridiculous team which you just can't beat. But then again, they wouldn't be unbeatable because, of course, they are not as purebred TDMers as most of the European teams.
Right. So, any more questions? Because we should really be finishing now. We've kind of gone a little bit over what I planned to
Okay.
go. Any last words about QuakeCon Zoo?
Oh, I just want to sort of thank all the people I met over there. I met such a great. I know I've said already how fantastic it was, but loads of people. I don't want to name all of them because
You'll
I'd
forget
either
them.
forget someone
Forget
or.
me, probably.
But yeah, I really hope that I managed to keep in touch with the people I met at QuakeCon. I really hope I get to see them again. If I don't get invited back, there's definitely going to be a point in my life where I'm just going to flat out pay for a holiday and go over there because it's such a good place, and I can't express how much of a high point in my life going to QuakeCon has been. So that's me.
It's a beautiful speech.
Thanks.
Yeah, QuakeCon's a pretty incredible event, and I thought we had a really good,
Oh, we got questions, man.
set of matches. There was a
Yeah.
couple that weren't, but actually the tournament was really incredible, and hopefully we get the VODs up soon so I can watch them back and enjoy it again.
Should we answer some of the questions?
Yeah, let's do some of the questions then.
Did anyone surprise you at QuakeCon, like some of the players?
Dahang.
He surprised you?
Dahang, I mean, beating Rafa, that's the surprise really, isn't it?
I was surprised
And
by
the
that.
way he dominated Cypher on that first map.
Hmm.
I could never
Yeah.
thought that could happen. With even if Rafa had been there against Cypher, and you might expect,
Yeah.
say, Rafa to win based on DreamHack, I wouldn't expect him to dominate him like that. That's
Exactly,
just
yeah.
insane.
I knew that Dahang was capable of defeating Rafa. I just did not think that, it would be 3 overtimes on DM13 with 1 point being scored on the entire map and then 2 sort of really confident. The way that Dahang did it was just incredible. Other players, though, there was a Drunken Masters in CTF. I'd never heard of any of them, but they were really, really good, and I think they were fighting for 3rd place, and I think Seriously Ill. And Seriously Ill, again, players like Wonko and Clown, Adrenaline, and Vizard, they were playing. They really impressed me. I thought that
Yeah.
they would have a tough time. Easted surprised me because I think they lost motivation in CTF after they lost the winner bracket game. Duelers that impressed me.
Well, the
No,
Open
anything
Cup
about
final,
Extreme.
that was good.
Yeah, that was amazing. I had no idea Ixima was going to be that good.
Fleischer.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
people were telling me before the Open Cup even started, they were like, has got this down. And I was like, yeah, sure. There's people like KGP, Fleischer, and Clown, and other people in there. I was very impressed.
Okay, let's have a look. Who was the best co-caster you casted with? That's
It's just I
that's
don't
awkward,
get
isn't it?
cast with Jahar and Fear much. I've got a
Jahar's such a good caster. He's
Jahar.
so good. And then
Yeah,
Fear, he's really good as well. I mean, the knowledge he's got as well on the
yeah.
American scene and the CTF scene. Quality, both of them. And obviously, me and Zoot, we've casted before quite a lot, so it's
I
quite
definitely
easy.
felt very comfortable casting with you because we've done it quite a lot. But it was an interesting experience, and I was really I loved the fact that we got that opportunity to cast with the American guys live.
I think of all of us, like, in my opinion, I think Jahar's the best caster.
He's definitely the most well-rounded. He's got such a great way of articulating himself and situations. De Hang's great. Would you think that the Open CTF Cup was less or more interesting than to the 2011? Oh crap, 2011 TDM Cup. What, the QuakeCon TDM?
QuakeCon, they'll
Who
mean, yeah.
won the TDM then?
The
So,
Salivating Monsters against IC in the final.
yeah.
Now, I think I missed that because I think I was actually on holiday last year at QuakeCon, so I only saw bits of it.
I'll say that the TDM finals was definitely better than the CTF finals, but I think the way up, I mean, on the way to the finals, I think CTF is more enjoyable than the TDM,
Well, yeah,
in my opinion.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I do have a preference towards TDM, as you know.
Of course. I just remember there was a lot of sort of random American TDM teams, and they kind of got steamrolled.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is
Much
Europeans
like
are so much stronger at TDM
yeah,
than America because they just have no scene over there for TDM. And it's
yeah.
a shame. I mean, I hope they can get a great team together to represent America for the Adroits LAN later in the year.
I mean, you also got to remember at the CTF there was a family that turned up, mum, dad, daughter's son. They made the CTF team, and their first game was against Roof.
Really.
And quickly the admins went over to Roof and says, "Guys, these guys have never played Quake before. Just go easy on them." The Roof guys, they were really nice. They let that family get a cap on a map, and then
Did
like,
they?
okay, that's done. They've had their moment. We're just gonna absolutely cripple
What if
them
that
now.
family had then just been pretending to be rubbish and they were like 1-0 up the last few minutes and Roof like, yeah, alright, let's win. And then the family just kicked into gear and destroyed them. Just really defensive play and won the map.
The most epic trolling ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roof didn't drop a single map the entire tournament. Impressive.
Um,
I was gutted that wasn't I would have liked to get some, just a couple of minutes coverage of either just maybe a picture of the family together in the team in front of the computers would have been cool, or just a quick look at how they were playing.
why
I thought it
wasn't
was really
Vor there?
nice.
Because Vor never goes to LAN. He hasn't even been on camera. I've not even seen him before, so...
Yeah. And you've known him for a long time as well.
Um, yes, I have. Like 7 years or something.
Show your face for.
So
What is coming up for Quake Live after our Joy Slan? I've heard some things, but I literally heard them about an hour or two ago, so I'm not sure how much I can say. But there could be some more CTF LAN action next year. Could. So I'll just leave that open. European, shall I say.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
this year we've got Adroits and then you have DreamHack Winter. Presumably DreamHack will have Quake. And
Presumably.
that'll tie out there. I mean, there's not really much space for anything else because that's October and November.
Hmm.
And, we're in August now.
So then
September.
next year, I mean, next year's going to be the big question mark where people are wondering. I think next year there's still going to be Quake next year, not to worry. Whether or not the DreamHack keeping Quake is something that I'm not sure if they're going to do. Something that I know people have been having doubts about, but it's definitely something I want to continue happening. I don't know anything about UGC.
Anyway, let's not move away too much from
Yeah, sorry, I'm going off topic quite a lot.
from QuakeCon.
Reflux. Reflux was amazing. I love that
Reflux,
map.
yes. I actually really love that map, and I thought the idea, for years I wanted that idea, a battle suit in CTF. I thought it was a really good idea, and I honestly think it's a stunningly good map. It's so fun to play, and to watch I think is really great as well, so I think it's a quality map.
I'm all F1 for Reflux being a competitive map. and something that should be just generally played more often. I thought it was really exciting. I think people who are watching some of the maps that we covered on Reflux, I think, yeah, definitely the spectators were very in awe from it. The ones who at least watched it live. I'm more than happy to continue to
I,
track that map.
I think for spectators having a focus, I mean, CTF in some sense is a little bit confusing anyway because you have two focus points, you have the two flags. So if you've then got, say, three power-ups, I mean, it can just be crazy. You're switching here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, when you've got so many power-ups, I find it quite.
Having
It's
one
difficult to follow.
power-up and it being a really powerful key power-up is actually a really great idea.
Yeah, that's why I liked Siberia and stuff, because that was just one quad in the middle. Sure, there was lots of fragging going on, but it was so simple to know, right, power up, and now this is where that power up, not any other power up, is going to be doing its business. And there's other CTM maps like Ironworks. That's kind of why Ironworks works so well, in my opinion. Maps like I could think of more, but
Well,
Jaff's Castles is bordering on sort of level.
I think anything more than one power up, really, for me. I think one power up's ideal if it's a powerful power up on that map. Obviously, Battlesuit on any map is going to be powerful. Quad on certain styles of map is going to be great. Regeneration, I don't think, is a great power up.
It's kind of
And haste is interesting
bland, isn't
if
it?
you can use it well, but
Invisibility.
Invis, that would be good.
I like that. If you could make a good map with invisibility. Oh, what's that new? There's also the new CTF map that's just been released in Quake Live. That one I definitely like to see because I think that's just another quad area in mid with it's kind of like troubled water style exits with med kits and then a nice tight knit base. That's also one I'd like to see played more.
Seeing the open duel as well on that range of maps, that was interesting as well. I wish
That
we'd
was
seen a
cool.
campgrounds.
Yeah,
We
I mean
didn't get to see one.
if you didn't see the Open Cup finals, it was really good. It was definitely worth watching. I'm really gutted we missed one or two games to cast, which I'm really upset about because, well, I think we were going to do it, but we weren't sure about it or there's something to do with
We didn't
panels.
get the information.
Yeah. But that was cool, and I like the fact that the map pool was completely different to the Masters Cup.
Yeah, it was quite fun, that, wasn't it? Seeing
Yeah.
some of those old maps we haven't seen played so often, Battle Forged and Hectic, and
Hectic was good in the finals. That was the tiebreaker map, wasn't it?
yeah,
That was really fun. But I think Demon's gonna have a little smile on his face there. 'Cause he's a big supporter of Hectic. Someone's gonna do some community vote removal, get new maps in for Adroit's TDM. Yeah, what is gonna go on with the Adroit's TDM map pool?
me. Well, I don't know. I'm not running it, so how would I know?
I
But
thought you'd have to have some contribution to make towards it.
if I'm here to contribute to it, I'd imagine it'd be on the same structure as the dual map pool is being selected. So there'd be some kind of a few maps chosen, then a community vote for one, and then some kind of like teams vote for one or something. I think that's the structure they're doing, something like that. And the admins choose one. I don't know. I haven't. It was something like that, but different sections choosing maps. But I'd imagine if I was choosing the map pool for TDM, I'd probably try and get the new maps in if they're suitable. I haven't seen them played yet because I was away and then I went to QuakeCon and now I'm back home. And
Finally.
that's sort of just the order that things have happened in.
Yeah.
So anyway, we should probably round it up now. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Remember everybody to follow us on Twitter at Level Up TV. Subscribe on our YouTube. Go and watch these videos, and I'm going to upload more soon. Yeah, subscribe
I'm
to us on
hoping
that.
there's Duel on Sunday to cover, by the way, but we'll see about that. There'll be news over the next day or two about what's happening on Sunday, which is the usual happy-go-lucky.
If it's not this
great stream
Sunday,
day.
there's definitely people working to sort out a new tournament to replace Sotak.
Mhm.
So stay tuned for that, and obviously if there is, we'll definitely be covering it.
Yes, defo
Like us on Facebook, of course.
and everything.
Let's build it up a bit. How many people are on here? 783 at the moment. Let's try and hit 1,000, please, before the year's out. Do you think we could do that?
I think that'd be.
Why don't you
that's
invite
definitely
all the friends
reasonable.
in your Facebook? Everybody do that. I've done that. I invited all my friends.
And how many have you got left?
I invited everybody. All my
So,
friends. What do you mean?
5
I've got
or
like 60
6
friends, and something like 15 of them have liked the channel.
Damn, nice.
Good work. Good work, Dis.
Anyway,
Proud-
should we
proud of it,
should
yeah.
we clear it up? I think this is the first time a show's possibly not gone way too over time.
Yes, we're actually doing all right, aren't we?
We've done nicely.
So yeah, just closing thoughts of QuakeCon. I mean, I personally had an incredible experience. I mean, probably anybody that goes would have.
Hmm.
It's a stunning atmosphere. Everybody there, obviously, so nice and welcoming. I mean, America is known for that anyway. You really see the passion that people have, certain individuals especially, for Quake, and sometimes they get a lot of abuse. You know, people like Sinker and that, but he like works so hard for that tournament and cares so much about Quake. Um, and then
Yeah.
obviously, you know, the QLTV team, they worked so hard. I mean, the first night they're up till 3 setting it up. There wasn't,
Most of them didn't sleep.
in fact, the event beforehand had not been packed up quick enough. You know that the hotel had running there, nothing to do with QuakeCon, so it meant they couldn't get into the hall until something like 6 hours later than they were supposed to, which
Yeah.
kind of pushed everything back and probably stopped them doing as many
I
tests as
think
they
I
would
think
have
that
liked.
conference has had more of an impact on the event than we may have highlighted.
Yeah, so they worked hard. Some of them didn't sleep, put it that way,
Yeah.
and you know, obviously there were some areas that could, like everybody could do better in, but I guess the point is to learn from that and
Mm.
improve. And I know people are like this happens every year, but it's kind of different problems every year, and there's like crazy things like fires happening some years
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that. But
Mm.
I get the feeling next year it'll be sorted out a lot better and be a lot cleaner. And let's
So
just hope they have Quake Live tournaments next year.
yeah, yeah. I really, really hope so. And I want to apologise to the Quick Live TV team for not being able to make that meeting on Saturday night. Um,
I was there.
oh, I was preoccupied, but I hope that this time that we've spent here has been enough to really offer the feedback I've had over the stream.
Yeah, if anybody wants any more questions answered about QuakeCon, etc., then just come to our IRC channels, probably best, or post on our Facebook page. Our IRC channel is on QuakeNet, of course. Hash Level Up TV.
Hmm.
I'll just chat in the chat when we're next on stream. But anyway, we've got to go because Zoot's got to go.
Yeah, we've got to go. We've got to go. Anyway, thanks very much, guys, and we'll be with you soon.
Goodbye. Should I do the outro as an intro, as an outro, as an outro, as an intro?
To outro.
Yeah.